So every time I click on this, I get $4. So we only need to do that a few more times before we're going to have the $19 trillion we need for space buddies. But at least for now, I have my space buddy, the little robot that could, or the little robot that had to, because I'm going to make him work. But for $1, I can't upgrade that, so we just tripled our outcome. Plus, we've achieved some of our goals. And you gotta have goals in life. We can spend $20 during cleaning droids. We can buy one of those. Those give us $17, but they take a while. Boy, do they ever. 7 minutes? I can't wait 7 minutes for cleaning droids. I can't wait 7 minutes for anything. We're gonna take spicy sandworms for $30. This takes 9 minutes, so I guess it's up to our robot. But given that his upgrades are only $1.21, like we can get a whole bunch of upgrades already. No, he takes 4 seconds to make $64. And that's the kind of timing I can work with. We've already unlocked red shirts. That takes 14 minutes. Why do these all take so long? I think when he gets to level 25, he's also going to get a considerable bonus. And I like considerable bonuses. So let's see if we can get him all the way up there to level 25. We did it. Now he makes $100 every 4 seconds. Which means we can also afford barf buckets for $100 and space gates for $200. This one takes 24 seconds, so it's actually going to make me lots of money. This one takes 40 minutes for $5,000, so this one is considerably better. The little robot's still pretty good, but we'd have to do 25 times to make what one of these is going to do. I like how it goes like $300, $400, $1,000, 19 trillion. It's kind of a big jump abruptly. This one only takes 1 minute, so it's not so bad, but most of these are quite slow. I'm going to actually pay $105 to double that output. We're going to triple that. Now it's $10,000 every couple seconds, so this is going to be our money earner. We're still a little ways away from the 19 trillion we need, but we'll get there. Now, as far as upgrades are concerned, $800 for profits times 4 and profits times 2 for 400. So this is now making 80,000 per click. This escalates so suddenly. So basically, by the time these touch down, we're going to have almost $100,000. And with that kind of money, I don't know what I'm going to do. This is also what level 4 got us. You probably need like level 100 to get that to upgrade, but at the rate it goes, it's, you know, well worth it. Because I can go like this. Honestly, let me use the auto clicker here for a sec. Now, when that touches down, 1.5 million. Seems like quite an escalation suddenly. But who am I to judge? We have $1.5 million. So let's spend $1.5 million. Let's start that again and then spend $1.5 million on upgrades for this thing. That's going to do something stupid. That wasn't as dramatic as I thought, but that'll still make us $1,000 every couple seconds, which is a lot. This one is $20,000 every time it touches down, which is about every minute. So let's crank that up to $200,000 every minute. Okay, we're going to give these all a little test by just upgrading them a little bit, and then we get a pretty good idea of how long they take for their upgrade bonus. Because some of them might not be far away, and that's an easy jump up in income. We've also got some upgrades. All profits times 2 for $500,000. All profits times 8 for $1 million. Rather, Space Gates profit times 8. Which one is Space Gates? This one? Must be this one, because it's up to 6.7 million per touchdown. But we can also upgrade this quite a lot, so it's still going to make lots of money for us. 7.7 million. No, it's still not the 19 trillion we need, but we're getting closer. And we can buy our first manager for $5 million, runs exoskeletons, which is this one. So now this one I don't need to click on anymore, it goes by itself. So we automatically make $4,000 every 4 seconds. Some of these other ones are actually not super far away, so we'll buy a few upgrades here just because that can make us an easy $1 million every couple minutes. Actually, I didn't realize how cheap these upgrades are. Like, this is only $1,000, $2,000 per upgrade right now, so I might as well buy some levels. I really should be spending most of my money on this though. You know what? Let's auto-click this one more time. Why not? It'll make itself back. $15 million every time it touches down. And we can afford more upgrades. All profits times 2 for $10 million. We'd be stupid not to take that. Now this makes $30 million every minute or whatever it is. 23 seconds. $30 million every 23 seconds. I can live with that. Even this one is $13 million every minute. We can actually buy quite a lot of these because these upgrades are cheap. And this number is going up quickly. So let's go ahead and let this one go for a sec. $124 million every minute. So between these all, they're starting to get pretty valuable. This one's in the same boat. The upgrades aren't super expensive, but it's going to make us a lot of money. So Portals is actually the highest earner now, because it makes 4 times that, but it doesn't take 4 times as long. We don't really want the next manager yet because, well, that's easy to remember to click. We do want some of these. All profits times 2 or calling cards profit times 16. We'll take all profits times 2. We can afford them both anyway, because this one just went up. It's $500 million every time it touches down now. And it doesn't take super long to do that. So suddenly we're making stupid amounts of money. And maybe we'll buy the $30 million upgrade now because we've really got nothing to lose. We can actually afford to buy the next level here. We got to buy 24 levels to get it to 150, but that's going to take it from 16,000 up to 19,000. It's a little quicker. That wasn't really worth it. We can buy this one though. 621 million because we have $1 billion. So we're going to go from 61 million to 416 million every couple seconds. Then I'm going to buy Beetle Spice. He's going to run candies and worms. So this one's automatically going to go. That's not a big deal. So for now, we're just going to ride this thing. So we're going to make $1 billion every minute or something. We can also do this. Bug spray profit times 32 for 240 million. Which one is bug spray? That's this one. So it's $204 million and it's barely leveled up. But we could buy 100 levels of it. That's going to take us from 340 million to 1.4 billion. And I really like the aliens that start with B's. Volcani for $400 million is going to run whatever that one is. So the left hand columns all run themselves now. We also have $1.5 billion already. So that was really, really quick earnings. And I'm always switching this over to next to see what's ready to get an upgrade. We're also going to buy Bar for the Hut. $700 million is pretty expensive, but now our most valuable moneymaker currently is working by itself. But we can see how much the next upgrades cost. So next will actually be this one at $9 billion, which does kind of sound like a lot, but as long as we can afford to 100 times buy different things, we're going to be making pretty good money. For example, we can try this one. Now this makes almost $1 billion every minute, and another 100 levels here added another $1 billion every 2 minutes. And I guess for now we'll just keep buying the managers. They do get expensive, but I've got time if you do. We got this one about to touch down, so we're up to $3.5 billion already. In the request of 4 billion threshold, all profits times 3. That's absolutely worth it now, because some of these are making almost $10 billion per cycle. And for $13 billion, we can afford the next level for the moon doors, whatever they are. Now $8 billion every cycle. At that rate, it didn't take long. $31 billion for another upgrade here. That makes $36 billion every minute. And I don't know if this one's going to be worth it, but we're going to buy another 75 levels here. I think that actually makes everything move faster. Plus, we're going to get the upgrade of, well, cleaning droids profits times 150, spicy sandworms times 100, and red shirts times 100 soon. We could probably spend $50 billion on him. Next, I can spend $150 billion upgrading this, so it's now making $150 billion every minute and a half. Next is the robot, $185 billion. Maybe before doing that, let's decide if some of these are going to be worth it, because for 200 times profits, it's hard to say no. Next, we are paying $185 billion for this, but it's taking 2 seconds currently. Hopefully that sped it up just a little bit. I think that also said profits of everything times 8. Not sure if that was accurate or not, but this one's already up to 1.2 trillion. After that becomes $2 trillion spent on this, which takes us from 1.8 billion to 33 billion every time it touches down. And we're also going to get red shirts times 150. Next, I think we're probably going to upgrade the worms, profit times 200. They're already pretty ridiculous. And then we're just going to buy whatever's left because we can afford it. But worms are now 6.6 trillion every couple minutes. Next, I'm going to upgrade the red shirts for 3.6 trillion. They were worth 152 billion now. Now it's 4.5 trillion when they touch down. And we can still afford this one, so that's 2 trillion itself. And I probably should have been paying more attention because we definitely probably could have already bought space buddies, but we'll afford it soon. There we go. A few minutes later, $20 trillion space buddies. They take 54 minutes and make no money, but eventually they'll probably be worth it. Now we're starting to get somewhere. We've got $250 trillion. And for 100 trillion of those, we can get our profits times 8. So instead of making $250 trillion, we would have just made 2 quadrillion. But I'm also looking around at how much the next upgrades are going to cost and thinking maybe it's time for some angel investors. If we get 2% profit bonus per angel times 87, that's a lot of extra percent, and we don't have to restart because we happen to have some gold. So we get 87 angels. So now suddenly our profits are going to be that much higher. My biggest earners are going to be things like this, 3 trillion every 25 seconds, or this for 18 trillion every minute. Okay, then say we skip through 1 day's worth of time, so 24 hours gets us $110 quadrillion. That means we can afford to double our bug spray, and well, these times 4, then times 3 on top of that, and these 2.5 times 1.5. And we can afford the next level for this guy, so he's $73 billion every hour. So let's go ahead and get 1500 angels for a 3000% bonus on top of what we already have. So now the bug spray when it touches down every 20 seconds is $544 trillion, or half a quadrillion. You know, even at this rate, we're still not seeing a lot of orange showing up. That's nothing that say 14 days worth of time skip won't fix. 185 quintillion. We're going to make some big numbers much bigger. Starting with 63,000 angels. That's going to give us a pretty healthy boost. So now every time this one touches down, $10 quadrillion. That's a pretty big number. So we're also going to go ahead and upgrade this. Now it's 42 quadrillion. We're going to upgrade this one to 8 quadrillion. This one's 204 quadrillion. This one's actually 1.1 quintillion, which is much bigger than quadrillion. I would love to upgrade the credit card because it's 342 quadrillion, and we actually can. We get 1.5 times profit, and then we get 1.5 times profit on top of that. So it's basically $1 quintillion every 10 seconds. Wonder how I'm doing in the leaderboard considering I'm rapid fire getting some of these. 7th place? I'm just kind of wandering my way through this. I'm not even trying very hard. But I will also buy Barf Buckets profit times 7, Mysterious and Spooky, Space Buddies profit times 10,000. I had to read that several times to make sure I actually understood that correctly. 10,000 times profit. Is he worth something yet? 5.5 quintillion every hour. I guess that's something. Oh, and I can trade in 25,000 angels for profit times 5. Is that worth it? That's probably worth it, right? Was that good? I think I did good. The game asked me, so now I'm doubting myself. Well, let's go ahead and let things run here for a couple weeks. I guess this one's pretty valuable. It's like every 7 seconds, $4.3 quintillion, so that's well worth it. We need to upgrade the space portal. We can't afford that yet, so I'll buy this for 1.56 trillion and this for 2.56 trillion and then this for 3.56 trillion because that's not a lot of money to us anymore. Then I guess the worms also, $35 sextillion. Yeah, that's actually quite cheap. We didn't have him. Space Ventura, we don't need him. This thing touches down once every blue moon. Angels, that's better. 4.6 million angels. That's going to give us a healthy profit boost. See, now we're getting into the numbers that are really confusing. Octodecillion, duodecillion. They might as well be made up numbers. I can't sacrifice 4 million angels because that's most of them. We're better off just holding on to them for now. But I can do something pretty stupid and add a 27 times multiplier to all my things. Then I can also do that again because why wouldn't I? And then we're going to get a huge speed increase. There we go. Now things are moving along at light speed. And we can upgrade Teddy here. He's now worth 1.2 octillion every time he touches down. Well, I think this would be a good time to let it run for 14 days. Then to get 432 octillion dollars. Which is probably quite a lot. So we're going to upgrade this a few times and the money's just going to keep on going. There we go, calling card profits times 3. And also that one, but now this thing is 2.5 septillion dollars every time it touches down, and it does that very quickly. And we can go from 4 million angels to 3 billion, so that's about 1,000 times more angels. That should also mean that we can sacrifice some angels, only 4 million for all profits times 3, which seems like a pretty good deal to me. I'd take that any day. Ooh, if we upgrade this, is it going to go solid? No, but it is blinking faster. I like how it just lights up investors and say, hey, you should probably do this. This looks like a lot of fun to touch. But we basically double the amount of angels we have. I think we're better off letting it run for 2 weeks. Then we're going to have more angels. Yeah, not quite 1,000 times more, but just about. 1.6 trillion angels, and that means all the profit numbers have gone way up. But to show how absurdly expensive some of these are, like I still can't afford any upgrades. At least not out there. I can buy them in here. Yeah, we still don't get 1,000 times this time, but we get a lot more. And we can get our exoskeletons 1,000 times profit, so we will. Also, we don't even have enough angels to sacrifice. That's very sad. But we have 2.5 duodecillion dollars, so we're going to upgrade this guy and then this guy. The numbers are so big it's almost redundant to read them out because they don't make any sense to us anyway. Like, I'm not even sure there's this many particles in the universe. It's a really big number. Well, since I've got more gold to spend, let's speed up the time. By like a lot. We're going to do that a few times. And then we're going to do 27 times multiplier a few times. 40 gold to go through another 2 weeks. 3 tradecillion dollars. Oh, and then we can buy all profits times 3 for just straight up money again. So that feels nice. And we're going to upgrade this guy and this guy. There's a number I'm happier with. 235 trillion to 8 quadrillion angels. Oh, and then we could probably sacrifice 300 trillion angels. It sounds like a lot, but I won't miss them. And I got some free warps as, I always forget as soon as you touch that, it just skips you ahead. So we'll just, whatever. We'll just go through some time anyway. We've already spent months at this. Months and months, but I'd say it was well worth the effort considering we're the richest being in the universe at this point. You know what? We're going to do that anyway. And look who finally finished another cycle. See you again in, I don't know how long, couple minutes. I actually jumped up to 4th on the leaderboard. I did not expect to even really touch anywhere near the top on this, but well, it just worked out that way. So let's try another 14-day time warp. It's crazy how little effect that has. 2 weeks of running. Like, it obviously makes a lot of money, but everything is just so very expensive. Oh, here we go. All profits times 5. Plus him profits times 5. So he's actually getting pretty valuable, and we upgraded him. Ooh, he's actually getting pretty quick too. He's certainly turned into something super valuable. As far as angels are concerned, can we sacrifice 100 quadrillion? Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, we can take some more though, actually. This is actually a really big boost. Now we can sacrifice the angels. We could probably do both of these. All profits times 3 and times 5. Yeah, that's a fifth of my angels, but 15 times profit is 15 times profit. And I'm starting to not really like, I understand eight quintillion dollars is not quite 14 quintillion, but it's a large chunk of it, but we're just going to start buying things when they turn orange. We've almost bought all the upgrades. So we're going to go for another 2 weeks. Let him go again and actually buy the remainder of the things. That doesn't actually happen very often. But we're also going to take some angels. That's going to cost 20 of our remaining 160 gold, which means he's now making 2.4 septendecillion. And I got these guys to the point where they're basically leveling up every single time you buy them for 1 level, which doesn't mean much at this point. They basically maxed out, which means we probably need another 14-day time warp. And that means we can get a lot more angels than we had, and we can actually afford some of the upgrades again. We're going to buy almost 2,000 levels of this, but look at the money we're making. And that's also going to give us a lot of points here. And we're sitting in 4th place. Number 1 has 2 times our points. I'm not even sure if that's a real person. But we have made 400 septendecillion dollars. I'm pretty happy with that considering where we got to. We'll come back to this in a year and see what happens.